Morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's me again. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I know I look a bit rough. I literally just woke up, and that's how quickly I've jumped on. Simply because my mind is running, and I need my space with you guys. So it's Friday, Venus Day. We have a double Venus Day, and that's probably what's doing me. I'm a Taurus ascendant or rising, shall I say? So Venus Day, Venus rules Taurus, or is in conjunct with Taurus. I have a lot of Venetian energy in my chart, so when Venus comes around, I feel it. I feel it a lot. After all, it's the ruler of my chart. And when I do, it brings such revelations. For one, I'm gonna have to say this to myself. I'm so proud with how intuitively in tune I am with the energies. I surprised myself when I was doing the daily reflections because it was kind of preset out, and it was with me going back and forth with ChatGPT to clarify the things in my head, right? To sharpen it up. But these last 3 days especially has been so raw. Has just been me quite literally like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the song of the day. A song of the day that came up. This is the second one. I don't know if you hear it in the background, but Nicki Minaj, Fly. But the first one that played before this in my head was Patience from Dreamgirls. And I know it was the residue of what I processed yesterday. So let's talk about it. Yesterday I was reminded about patience, temperance. Temperance. Okay, so there's this wonderful, all the people around me are wonderful, but truly gifted energy reader who did my reading recently. And one of the cards she pulled out for me was the temperance card, saying this is something I have mastered. Patience. The temperance card is simply about, weathering the storm, patience, being able to go the extra mile and not giving up, that tenacity. And I was truly shown what that means, not only within me, but also the people around me. Again, I spoke yesterday about mirrors. The synergy I am walking in has me so giddy. It's crazy good. Being able to just be with the fairies, but in a grounded way I haven't been. So one thing about me, spillage, that most people don't know is I have a neurological condition, aka something that is more mentally linked with its physical symptoms. I might make an awareness of it a bit more. I think I should. I will also tag down the reader when I post up this live later. But where was I? Neurological functional disorder is basically one that is, I have symptoms like seizures and temporary loss of limbs, like so I can be paralyzed from the neck down, incontinence, headaches, like all sorts of dysfunctional symptoms within myself. I could have a heart attack without my heart actually exploding out my chest, or a stroke. My face looks like I'm having a stroke without the internal actual, dysregulation that typically causes a normal stroke to happen. So I could still die from it because my body believes it so hard, but the original cause isn't like, oh, a fatty liver, or like a, I don't know, just again like a seizure. You get certain sparks in the brain, right? And that's what causes the seizure. It doesn't happen when you have dissociative or neurological functional disorder with it. Your body's shutting down due to dissociating, due to disconnecting. Your brain is saying, I just want to check out. You stress too hard, I just want to check out. But you can't check out when you're walking, when you're present at the same time. So it causes a disruption, a fizzle to the brain, right? Hence why it could, if it persists long enough, it could still cause the real effect at the end of the day, because our brain is a very powerful tool, and our reality is made from this one central center. Anyways, that was my tangent on that. Sorry. Let's go back to yesterday. Yesterday I woke up crying. Not necessarily because I was sad, but because every day something else that I thought I had buried, or I thought I was over, kind of pops up in a different light. And I have to acknowledge it for what it is. Yesterday I had a conversation with my beautiful earth angel, Greenwich. And we were talking about theatre. So I have a background in the creative arts. I love it. I did theatre for a good 4 or 5 years. I then got my degree in creative writing and media. So I'm a big creative, especially when it comes to theatre in education and stuff like that. And while I might not be a heavy hitter musical girl, there are musicals that I do generally love. They are like childhood music to me. The Disney fanatic in me type of behavior. And one of them is Hamilton. I came across a reel that had this graduation happening for these teenagers that they were leaving. And they did a rendition of Hamilton. And a lot of the songs in there is about that striving forward. It's about that I might not know where I'm going, but I'm going to make my mark. I'm going to push forward to my glory. That resilience, that temperance. And it made me cry. Not because it wasn't a beautiful moment, but because it reminded me of a tenacity I've forgotten. A tenacity I've been showing, but because I was caught up in my fear. Oh no, this problem is here again. I forgot my strength. I forgot that hope and that drive that Hamilton, the musical, honestly embodies through a medium that I love the most. Again, that education in theatre, because it is a history. It is someone's life a biography turned into a theatrical piece, right? Now, how accurate it is a different question, but the fact that this was history made into art in itself is beautiful. But it also brought up memories of my father, and rare and small moments where he truly showed and expressed pride and interest in my theatrical gifts. Because obviously I rehearsed within the theatre space, but I would come home and I rehearsed too, and I would do my pieces in my room. I'll go over and make sure I've memorized stuff, right? Or researched what I needed for that time period. And he would genuinely be interested sometimes. I remember one random moment. I was performing to myself in my room. And he actually sat with me for a couple hours, helping me refine it and telling me his own kind of opinions and being of assistance in something I enjoyed for once. And I guess it it was my inner child that was like, oh, see, now these were the moments that actually truly gave me the false hope that there was more care to our relationship, or there could be more care to our relationship than there was at that time. He's not such a bad guy. He gave me a sweet, right? And understanding that just because even bad guys are heroes in someone else's story, and those were the warped expectancies I had in relationships, where a little bit of kindness was enough for me to hope for not only more, that breadcrumbing behavior, right? But also disregard all of the mean, bad stuff that was happening, because you're just having a tough time. Everyone does, right? Giving you a pass. And then, where was I? I lost my tangent. Oh, father. That made me cry, and I let it go. I released it. I realized, okay, that was these little hidden gems within me that's gonna help me move towards more healthier relationships, a more healthier partner, because I'm recalibrating my foundation. I carried on down my rabbit hole of astrology, where I was looking at detoxing and the best way to not only energetically but physically detox at the same time. And that's what I'm going to start. I've got a plan for myself for the energies on the 7th all the way up to the 11th, which should keep me even more aligned with myself as I keep going down this rabbit hole. I saw a reading on YouTube, and it was echoing back what I kind of understood with choice. I've been making choices out of fear. I've been rushing in urgency because of survival mode and what it truly meant for me to slow down. And then life echoed that back to me in scenarios with my friends. And seeing them panic and being the voice of calm and saying, hey, look, you're good. You just need to be aware. This isn't your first rodeo. You got this. You can do this. And watching them truly hear that, take that advice on and apply it, and then come back and say, hey, I did it. It's silly, but it feels like being a mother hen, and your birds just, they fly suddenly. And it was in those moments I could truly, in my own heart, be like, yeah, this is what my existence is meant to do. Not necessarily always have to talk people off the edge, right? But when someone else is spiraling, my reflection back to them is not to spiral too, but to remind them we're good. This isn't our first time in the trenches. And yeah, it wasn't fun then, and yeah, it's not fun now. But we survived those. We've always survived change. Be it in ways we wanted it to change and in ways we didn't want it to change. And this situation, this instant, is no different. I know I seem a bit all over the place right now, but I promise you, this is just me speaking out loud. And I hope that it makes sense, or it at least resonates in the pieces that it's meant to for you. Also yesterday, and this sounds a little cheesy, I had my first person on live. I wasn't just talking to myself. And was I giddy as hell for it? Absolutely. Jupiter was doing what it needs to do. That's another prominent placement. And to see them actually working actively in my favor right now. So today is about that self-love. I've woken up understanding what it means to be in ease. being proven that, yo, you're good. And you are reflecting that back to others in order for their vibration to move accordingly. I had a wacky dream. Can't quite remember it, but I know it's reoccurring. And it's like this bar. You know when you get that in Tekken, you've got the little red bar, right? And I know it's just filling up. I've added 1 more percent. I've added 1 more percent. I've got 2 side quests going on at the same time, and I've added 1 more percent to it. And I have to say I'm proud of myself for that. So take those 5 seconds or that 10 minutes to sit with yourself and review, what are you actually still doing in haste? Remind yourself that you are more powerful, and this isn't something new. This isn't, hey, even if it is, because guess what? I forgot. But I remembered, but I forgot. Yesterday, I also did a thing where I attended this, again, amazing mind. She had a webinar, I guess you'll call it, or but like a class thing where she was showing us basically how to build apps using AI. First of all, my mind was blown. Not only because I don't know programming and code and stuff like that. Again, my background is in the creative arts, not the technological field per se. But just knowing that the way I was sitting with ChatGPT and prompting myself was a bigger tool than I gave it credit for, was already like, whoa. And the fact that it could go in a direction that was not only in line with things I envisioned to do, but I could also do for myself. And I would be able to get at least a good 80% of it done before, and that's crazy, before getting those who were technical skills involved. I'm like, well, damn. And she explained it in such an easy and digestible way, and even still gave us the prompts to take that lesson, put it back into ChatGPT to then even use that as a prompting guide to get step-by-step guidance on our ideas. Honestly, absolute gem. But what else creeped in? Fear. Because it was unknown territory. I was like, oh no. I mean, yeah, am I excited? Absolutely. But can I really sit there with ChatGPT and make prompts and then take that prompt and put it into another system, and that system's able to read it because, you know, it was only converted by ChatGPT. I don't really know it. I've never done it before. But I've sat with ChatGPT. I have been doing prompts. I just haven't done it in this manner. But there was at one point, I didn't know what ChatGPT was, and I didn't even know how to use it, let alone it helped me create 30 days worth, or create and refine, shall I say, because obviously it was my thought, but create and refine 30 days worth of affirmations, reflections, and captions. Why couldn't it help me do more? And that was from my prompting. It was only as good as what I fed into it. So how won't I be able to prompt and refine enough to get the data required to put it into another system that will just generate what I asked for? Why should I fear that? Why should I fear the process of that? I don't have to be able to do it day one, aka that urgency, that fear. No. I can take my time with it the same way I took my time with these affirmations. Same way now I'm able to put reels and sit here with you every day. It didn't happen in a day. That's why it's your reminder. Don't let fear lead you. Change will come in ease and steadiness, in softness and readiness, in all manners and all forms. Remind yourself that urgency is not peace, and that anything created in urgency, in fear, cannot flower, cannot bloom in surrender and serenity. It can't. Fear doesn't survive where things are meant to thrive. Survival is the only place it can be. I'm so giddy today. Honestly, I love the fact that my sound, my authentic sound, my soundscape, my inner soundscape is roaring so loud right now. I'm waking up every day. I mean, it's for me like 6 a.m. And I'm energized. I'm ready for the day. I'm ready to see what mysteries and wonders I'm going to discover again today. This is how we should be. This is how I've always asked to be. An adult who still has the love and the wonder she did as a child. I wonder. I'm safe enough to ponder. I have enough stillness around me to not have to be on alert. And I know I still have ways to go, don't get it twisted. For example, I'd be flinching at my own shadow. Not because there's something there, not because I'm scared, but because of how reactional it is in my body. That any little thing moves. What was that? But it's all melting down. The fact I can realize that that's even a thing, because I've had people tell me like, yo, you good? And I'm wondering, who you asked that for? I haven't said anything, I haven't done anything, but there are impulsive reactions within me that I've been so numb to, but they're melting away. And they can melt away for you. I've probably overspoken. No, there's no such thing as overspeaking, because my softness is more than enough. Not too much, but enough. And so is yours. So, get in the comments. Talk to me, darling. Talk to me, darling. I want to hear for you guys what after you've sat with yourself and you looked at these draining situations and you flip them on their heads and go, well, what did I actually achieve? And if it's coming back up again, it's for you to recognize that you're stronger than this. And you know what? You're probably a master in the field of where your problems are. My problems have always been being stuck in my head and not speaking up. I've always been pushed and demonized for what was in my head because I spoke them out. My biggest friend and enemy is my mind, to the point where there is a condition quite literally linked to it. I can be so stuck in my head that my body shuts down. So that just proves to me my greatest gift, my greatest power to this world comes from my speech, my perspective, my knowing, my knowledge, and letting it out. And it will probably be the same for you guys in your life. Even if it's the type of thing, you're dealing with the authorities. You probably have a power and a destiny within law. You're dealing with family members who are elders. Your destiny is in... You're going to be that elder. You're going to be the new foundation. You are the new elder, and you need to understand and overcome what it means to, well, demolish the old structure and build a new one. You're a monarch, a matriarch or patriarch, however you want to put it, but you're a monarch. You are the new age of the old age. These challenges are only there to show you where your glory truly is. And when we allow that space to be still enough, we get to see that. We really do. Because through song, through my rambling, through this live, lives are changing. Well, that was me. And I hope everyone is having an amazing Friday, Venus Day, and showing themselves the love, the patience, the gratitude, and the compassion necessary. Recognizing your soft strengths of you have and will always survive every change that happens. Because as long as you're breathing, you can overcome it. You have, because you're breathing. All you have to do is recognize what inside there was I meant to learn or be empowered with. Because there's no one, my stepdad, would say this saying quite a bit. He would tell us that those who are blessed are the only ones with problems. Because even the devil doesn't want a useless person. And that is the damn truth. If you have to struggle in this life, it means you have something others want. No one bothers people that they don't have anything that people want. Even the devil doesn't want a useless person. So understand that everything that you fear that is changing is a struggle. Is only proof of your blessings, of the fact that you aren't useless. And guess what? With every attempt, you prove why. You lose the roof over your head, and then you gained another one. You still survived. That isn't a story everyone can tell. It isn't. I'm the girl who lost her ability to literally lift her head off the pillow. I was paralyzed from the neck down. It took me 2 years. At the age of 15, 14, to learn how to do what I did at 9 months. Right? Walk. What I learned at 4 or 5, hold a pen. Everything all over again. And this time, without the use of sensation. I couldn't feel the floor. I could barely understand the sensations in my fingers, so I didn't know if I was gripping too hard or too softly. All the while, my eyes were doing click on, click off, temporary blindness. All the while, my brain saying, you know what? Let's stay with the fairies. And I'm blacking out walking down the stairs. Meanwhile, my lowest chakras were so blocked, I couldn't feel anything from the waist down for years. And yet here I am, independently living, a mother, building a community and an empire around me. If you had told that 14-year-old who was stuck in ICU that I would be here right now, I would have cussed you out. Hardcore. If you said that to me at 18 when I couldn't even understand how I went to sleep seeing and woke up blind, in pain, constant mind-numbing pain, with no reasoning for that pain. I'm just hurting. My spine is throbbing, my head is throbbing, my skin is burning, there's electric in my veins, just constant pain. That I will be sitting here in peace right now. Ready or not, here I come. I'm gonna find you, right? It's okay. Take that pause, take that breath, and just listen. Because you are far stronger than you ever give yourself credit for. And I know it's hard to take that breath. I know it's hard, especially in that moment when you're so overwhelmed, to think about anything outside of that. But practice, just like everything else, makes perfect. Or makes better. Let's change that. Practice makes better. You'll be able to catch yourself more. And just remember, blessed people are the only ones with problems. Because even the devil doesn't want a useless person. Okay, I think I've rambled enough. I have enjoyed this. I hope you have enjoyed this. And I will see you actually in a couple days. I'm going to go dark for a little while. Do some deep purging. And I will be back. Okay, bye.